So you did dry January. Good job. Hope you're feeling better. Well, maybe not, since we're in the middle of February and you're probably back to the same old routines of knocking back a few on the weekends or having that glass of wine with dinner every night because it's good for cardiovascular health. And, I'd like to say that, if you're really trying to help make a difference in your body, 3 months is your real telltale. And it's a standard held by both Western and Eastern medicine that if you're going to create any kind of dramatic physiological shifts and anchor in any major changes in the body, you need at least 3 months. At least 3 months. But, a month's a good start. And I'm curious if you noticed how different you felt by the end of that month. Did you have better energy, clarity of mind, better decision making, better sleep, better digestion? There's just a few of those things that can definitely start to improve. But I think what is more curious to find out, how well have you maintained that place? How have you been feeling as of late since you started up again? Because, alcohol, it's fun, sure, but it also has its problems. It has its caveats. I always think about Homer Simpson's quote of, "To alcohol, the source and solution to all of our problems." And, I think there's more problems than solutions. I think we all know what little solution it actually brings. But the harder numbers that I've been seeing and reading are pretty sobering. I know. I'm sorry. Couldn't help myself. But as we start to understand how alcohol is affecting the body, how we process it, and what its effects on the body, then we start to see, oh, I can see how this is actually causing so many problems. So the initial process is that alcohol goes to the liver, and then once that has been broken down, another carcinogenic compound arises called acetaldehyde, and thus has the liver and the kidney doing double duty to break down this carcinogenic. And as we get older, the body's natural resources to be able to break such things down become harder and harder. And that's why the hangovers become worse. By the lens of Chinese medicine, that's why you can see a lot of people getting grayer and grayer, especially when they enter into their 50s and they're regular drinkers. Hair quality has a lot to do with the health of your liver and your kidneys. And as we start to see that as people progress in age, also their abilities to deal with alcohol, the hard numbers in the studies show that, if you're over the age of 40 and you drink more than 5 drinks a week, you're looking about taking 15 minutes off your life for every drink after that 5th one. Across the board, if you're drinking more than 7 drinks a week, period, regardless of age, you're literally causing brain damage. Alcohol shrinks the brain. And, getting to a point where you're drinking more than just 7, which a lot of people can, especially in their 20s and 30s, they're actually causing the structure of the brain to become compromised, let alone causing nerve damage and so forth. But the heavier stuff is how much it, is causing cancer. It's a major contributor to cancer, especially breast cancer, and of course, all on the digestive tract. From entry to exit, it can inflame any aspect of the digestive system. And then, of course, liver. Those are the big ones. And it's kind of a scary thought that, because we only drink a little bit here and there, and it adds up over time, and especially, if our diets are and what we're exposing ourselves to all the time, whether it's from air quality or water quality, it gets compounded. So it's not an easy thing to really weigh out for a lot of us because a lot of us depend on it as a social lubricant, social settings. I personally do take winters off. A lot of you know me for that. And I've learned just to keep a glass of water in my hand a lot of times when I'm out, but a lot of people know me well enough to be like, is this the moment? Is this the time? Because some people think it's winter time, some people think it's summer or spring, and it's always the winter time. But it definitely makes a difference in my life. But as I've gotten older and I've turned the page into the 50s, I'm realizing that even a little bit can have an effect on my next day, whether I want to go mountain biking or climbing, or even want to go to yoga for that matter. Motivation, muscular strength are definitely compromised for me, and it's not fun in a lot of ways, And so these are just thoughts, information for you to really kind of deal with, and also know that if you're looking to heal yourself, that the power of Chinese medicine is strong and can do a lot to help reverse a lot of the effects on the kidneys and on the liver and the pancreas for that matter. So some things to consider as you move along in life and raise that next glass and a cheers. So remember, stay cheerful.